Once upon a time, deep in the woods, there stood an old, abandoned insane asylum. It had been closed for decades, and the townspeople spoke of it in hushed whispers, believing it to be haunted. The building, with its broken windows and crumbling walls, was a place no one dared to enter. One Halloween night, a group of friends, including 12-year-old Jake, decided to explore the eerie asylum. Armed with flashlights and nerves of steel, they ventured into the darkness. The front door creaked loudly as they pushed it open, revealing a long, shadowy corridor filled with dust and debris. As they walked, the sound of their footsteps echoed through the empty halls. The air was thick with an unsettling silence, broken only by the occasional drip of water from the ceiling. Jake felt a chill run down his spine, but kept moving, determined to prove he wasn't scared. They came across an old patient room with rusted bed frames and faded wallpaper. The room felt cold, and as they shone their flashlights around, they saw names scratched into the walls. "Help me and get out" were scrawled in shaky handwriting. Suddenly, a faint whispering sound filled the room, causing the group to freeze. "Did you hear that?" whispered one of Jake's friends. They all nodded, their eyes wide with fear. The whispering grew louder, and the room seemed to grow colder. Jake's flashlight flickered, and in the brief moments of darkness, he thought he saw a shadow move across the room. Deciding they had seen enough, they turned to leave, but found the door they had entered through was now closed. Panic set in as they tried to open it, but it was stuck. The whispering had turned into soft, haunting laughter, echoing around them. Jake's heart pounded as he spotted another door at the end of the hallway. "Come on, this way," he shouted, leading his friends towards it. They ran, their footsteps echoing louder now, as if something was chasing them. They burst through the door and found themselves in a large, decrepit operating room. Old surgical tools lay scattered on the floor, and the smell of decay filled the air. In the center of the room was an old, rusted operating table, and above it, a single, flickering light bulb. They burst through the door and found themselves in a large, decrepit operating room. Old surgical tools lay scattered on the floor, and the smell of decay filled the air. In the center of the room was an old, rusted operating table, and above it, a single, flickering light bulb. Jake and his friends didn't need to be told twice. They sprinted back down the corridor, the laughter and whispers following them. They finally found a window they could crawl through and escaped into the cold night air. They didn't stop running until they were far away from the asylum, breathless and terrified. From that night on, they never spoke of what they had seen, and they never went near the abandoned asylum again. But Jake could never forget the hollow eyes and twisted smile of the figure that had told them